this dream of pain. Passion is hot as fever. What does the dark see now? My fire's in the trees now. Everywhere God is focused. He manifests focus, focus. Everything God is touches. Straight magic like a blue lotus. I wanna be a way to go in. 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 You be a fool not to notice. She don't know it, but you, she don't know it. I wanna be a way to go in. I wanna be a way to go in. Does the goddess look like a beacon of light on this side? What is the definition? So I know your soul and spirit. Out of the trials and tribulation, she rises above the ashes again. She's not an angel or a demon. She's somewhere between and finding balance. Forget biases that she touted. I'm an existing on dimensions. Forget biases, ooh, that she touted. I'm an existing on dimensions. Unfolding like a lotus. I know I'm infinitely luscious. Energy way too bright. I know I'm infinitely luscious. Way too potent. You hear from not to notice. She don't know it, but she knows it. Energy way too potent. They tried to take her crown, they tried to knock her down. But instead of black and blue, she rainbow body now. They tried to steal her shine, they tried to break her mind. But instead of shattering, she finally learned to fly. God is you can't find this. I'm so timeless. I ain't gotta try no more. I'm just the source. I'm just the voice. It's not it's not
Hello, 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 and welcome from the other side. I am so excited to be back today. I missed you guys so much. We had a little hiccup with the 10th house of Capricorn. Y'all, why are Capricorn so stubborn? Why does Capricorn energy give me so many problems? Y'all are so stubborn. True to Capricorn nature, Capricorn said they're going to come when they choose to come. And that is absolutely okay because we following up this week with the House of Aquarius, my beautiful water-bearing sign that is represented by the even most beautiful and bearing of gifts and so much love, Albertine Shrey. I'm so excited to delve into this workshop. If you haven't got a chance yet to listen to the On the Couch interview that I did with Mumsy, oh, you are missing out because it was so beautiful. It was one of those experiences that really transform your life and transform your thinking. And if you're trying to see like a sneak peek of what's to come at the moon ceremony in 2 weeks, April 24th, guys, then you want to go back and listen to the replay of that interview on the couch because it was so powerful and so moving. And as a little commercial before we get to the good stuff, I just want to let you guys know that we are officially sold out of. Oh, sorry, I got a phone call. I hate when that happens. Yes, but we are officially sold out of the retreat tickets. But it is okay if you want to come to the you still want to come, if you still want to get this Black Girl Magic, if you still want to experience this a wonderful experience, you still can, because there are tickets still left for the moon ceremony. And we did something amazing, and we added in accommodations just for that one day. So at the same ticket price. So you really just can't beat it. So if you still want to come, if you're still interested, if you're like, oh man, I'm all the way in the 11th house, I'm invested now, I want to experience this, then go and get your tickets, sis. It's so amazing. You could do like a buy here, pay now feature. That's super great. You don't even have to pay the whole thing right now. And I want to say there's one ticket that gives you accommodations and dinner for $500. Then for $250, you could just do the moon ceremony and the dinner. And then for just $100, you could just do the moon ceremony. So there's so many options there for you guys. If you feel called to come, I want to make it accessible for more people. I want to make it plausible for more people. So if you feel called to be there, listen to your ancestors, sis, because it's going to be so powerful. I'm absolutely at awe that the event, the moon ceremony, is only 2 weeks away. When I started planning this event, it felt impossible. I didn't know how I was going to pull it off, but Spirit said that it was going to happen. God said that it was going to work, and all I had to do was be obedient and walk by faith. And that is exactly what I've done. And we're 2 weeks out. Like, it's getting ready to be a whole thing. So I'm just so excited because I've talked to so many women who have told me how this has been a manifestation for them as well. It's not just something that I've been manifesting, but something that they've also been manifesting, something they've also been wishing for, something they've also been thinking about and trying to make movements to make happen. So I'm just so excited to be a vessel for Spirit to make this happen. And I'm absolutely just honored and humbled by this experience. Let's see. I see we got 4 viewers in here. Let me know in the chat who's in here. Post your name in the chat. Let me know who is here. Let me know who's in the building. All right, who's with us. So without further ado, I don't feel like I need to go through all of the details about the moon ceremony, how dope it's going to be, how amazing it's going to be, how much healing you're going to receive from experiencing this, because at this point, we're in the 11th week. If you don't know already, then I don't know where you've been at, sis. But if you're not in Virginia on the 24th, girl, you got to get your life, baby, because we are so serious about 2022 being the year of healing ourselves and taking accountability of the black Atlantic slave trade, the post-traumatic slave disorder that we've experienced. We got Gabby from Oakland, California. Hey, Gabby girl. Gabby gonna be in the building. I already know. So I am just so excited. I love each and every one of you guys. Wow, now we got 9 people. 9 people in the room. Who are you? Put your name in the chat. I can't see you until you make a comment. So put your name in the chat. And if you're coming to the moon ceremony, in 2 weeks, put a heart in the chat. You know what? Don't put a heart. Put here. I'm here. Put here. I'm here. If you're coming to the moon ceremony, let me know by putting I am here in the chat so that I can know. All right. So without further ado, you guys, this is every week I'm like, this is my favorite house. This is my favorite person. But this really is my favorite person for real, y'all, because I've learned so much from this woman. She doesn't even know the way that she so selfishly pours from her heart into the world, in the way that she makes an impact on the world. I only pray to be able to do one day in my life. Mumsy is an inspiration to all of us here in the tour because what she does is amazing. She takes resources. She's the embodiment of be the change that you want to see. She's not sitting around and talking about the issue. She's not on Clubhouse, just talking about the problems and all the things. She's being the solution. Sis, she takes medical supplies, food, clothes, toys, anything that she could get her hands on, if she physically takes them over to Africa to pour into these villages that have nothing. But don't let me tell you, Mumsy can speak for herself. So bring it to the stage the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful Mumsy of Mumsy's Children Foundation.
Hi.
Hi, Mumsy.
Hello.
Hello, girl.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you in the healing space today. I'm so excited to open up the House of Aquarius and for you to teach us how to say hello from the other side.
Yes. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Hello everybody.
All right, well, I'm going to let you do your thing, girl. I'll be down backstage in case you need me, and I will be in the chats. So if you need me, I'll be here, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey guys. It's you and me. And my name again, like she says. Hello from the other side. Yes, I am Mumsy. My name is Albertine Scray, and I go by Mumsy. And I'm the founder of Mumsy's Children Relief Foundation, the foundation that is supported by the whole Healing Space family. Can we go to the next now? Let me dig into it without all right. Hello from the other side. You can see me there with a child. Hello from the other side, because the other side is it's the other side of us, right? And we're gonna talk about it a lot more in my house when we're gonna be doing the webinar. Hello from that side that is doing things differently, like from here, that side that has different thing compared to what we have here, that side that normally, we will connect during the workshop. Next. Yeah, here you see children. The Mumsies is Mumsies Children Relief Foundation. I work mostly with women and children. You know, who says women says children. These children are the ones that are going to benefit from the alignment tour. This whole event is going to sponsor 1,000 of them. I have 3,000 children that the foundation is helping right now. Children that would not be educated if we wouldn't pay for their education. Next. You can see them here, different schools. Each of these children is paying $10. $10 need just $10 to go to school for a whole year. So believe it or not, we have right now 11 schools, and we are helping 3,000, a little over 3,000 children. Each of them just has to pay $10. But even as we are helping, only 30% of the children are attending school now. We all know that even if we want to change the narrative, right? Africa is a rich continent, but for them to be able to even see what they have to do, to collect, to transform, we need to give them education. So this is what we do at the foundation with the children. Next. Okay, now we get to, this is a good picture that shows, the other side, right? You can see a city like here in United States. You can see the other part in Africa. You see the difference, right? This is the other side. That is beautiful too. But how far can $10 go? I just told you before, and this is where you see how much impact we can do with only $10. In this side that we are now, $10 can buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks, a hamburger, right? But on the other side, $10 sends a child to school for a whole year. $10. And the most touching thing is how many cannot pay $10. How many are illiterate right now, uneducated, because they never can afford $10 to go to school for a whole year. That's how far $10 can go. $10 can provide clean water to 10 children for 10 years, for 3 years at least. They say 10 years, but I think those filters work for 3 years. So with $10, you can provide it. $10 can feed 20 people because it's 50 cents that you can feed one orphan for one day. So $10 can feed, like that hamburger can feed 20 kids. This is how far $10 goes in the other side. Next. And so in my house, when you're gonna come, I hope everybody comes to my house because I can just answer to your question. Going there all the time, I know so many things that maybe you need to know, and I don't know that you need to know. So it's gonna be good to come and ask any question. Any question, don't even feel, just come to the workshop. And this is an amazing workshop because we are going to see how fulfilling it is to give, right? It's not in the sense of money, in the sense of, because some of us can give 1 million, some of us can even have millions and still have the hole inside of us, still have emptiness, right? So in my house, I will be talking, and we will be talking about giving in a way that it's fulfilling, so most fulfilling. And this is when you uplift another person. It doesn't matter how much you give to someone. Imagine when you give to a child $10, and that during that year, that child learns how to read and write. That child can write a letter to you to say thank you, which now he cannot. That child can read the letter you're sending to him, which right now he cannot. This is you uplifting these women, because even the women there, the solution we're going to be doing, like even education or the pads or anything we are doing, it's going to get them to be more powerful, to get themselves to work themselves out of extreme poverty. We all know that nobody comes to save anyone, right? We're not going to Africa to save them. Even when I go there with books, with filters, with everything that we can give them, education is just so that we empower them. And this is that uplifting part that we are going to be doing in my room. And we're going to be giving from the heart. One of the exercise we're going to be doing is writing a letter, writing a prayer or a letter of encouragement, sending a message, right? And I will encourage people to send that message with $10. Most of the women over there have between 10 and 14 kids, not because they like to have children, but because they don't have any way to stop, right? Because to stop having babies, you need to be educated, you need to have money. So many women have many children. And what is happening, even as we go to help their children, sometimes the woman has to sit down and choose which one of the children she will send to school. And so when I go back there, especially after our tour, I will be taking videos where I will be talking to them, and you can see them talking, and you can see that as women, right? As mothers, you will see that they always choose first the boys because they know girls will go to marriage. When you go to a family of 8, and they just choose the 2 boys to go to school, they don't choose the girl. Very rarely they choose the girl. It's when they don't have boys that they choose a girl. And even these girls, they don't go to school longer than 3rd grade or 4th grade. And I'm going to talk about it in the next one. Here again, you can see the difference, the children over there and over here. Over there, you have a village. The foundation is building schools where there is no school before. If you follow me and you look on my Instagram or on my LinkedIn, you're gonna see a school of Hmong is where usually I'll go and I stay in that village before I go to the other village in that area. And the village of Hmong had over 300 children, and there was no school, nobody there to read, write, right? So you can see how they're stuck. And so what I did is we started building the school. So these kids you see behind them, behind our school, you just see the forest. It's also beautiful. So this is a good. I love these two pictures because they really show you the other side, right? They show you this side and the other side, all beautiful and smiling babies. Next. Yeah, here I wanted to talk about women when this slide comes in. Now is when I want to talk about empowering them, right? Our sisters, we are all the same. We all came from the same place, but they need a hand. They need a hand. It's still a macho world. And in these places, the girls are now going to school. First of all, like I told you, it's a poverty thing. When the parents cannot pay, they choose the boys. And then they think the girl will go to marriage. Why are the girl even going so fast to marriage? We still have the problem of early marriages. Period. When you have your period, you can't hide it. They don't have tampons. So one of the big thing we were doing in my workshop in my house will be to make reusable, washable period pads. With these reusable period pads, the women, they can wash them. They're eco-friendly, they're organic, they're very, very comfortable. We just have to make sure that when we get them the pads, we get them with like underwear. Because the last time I brought the pads, and they were looking at me puzzled, like, what do we do with these pads? And I was trying to show them how to snap it on the wear, and they were still looking at me. One of the lady called me on the side and said, "Mumsy, they don't have underwears." So they don't really understand the whole thing with your pads. So we just have to make sure that we buy the underwear, and in my house we're going to make the pads, and that way we bring the pads and the underwear to help the women stand up, to help them keep going to school, to help them reduce early marriages, which will also reduce early pregnancies. And we start from there. We can do magic, but we start from there. Next. Oh, yeah. Now the donation. I talked a little bit about it before. Normally, even $1, I would say, even $1. Can you imagine the impact of $1? $1 is 500. So when we say $10 to send a child to school, $10 arrive there, it's 5,000. This is why it's so hard for them to get all the way to 5,000, right? So when we give $10, it gets to Cameroon. It becomes, if you even Google it to see the change, you will see that $1 is at least 500. Last month it was even 600, $1. So money goes a long way, whether it's $1 or $10. But I encourage everybody to give $10. That will permit us to sponsor 1,000 children with this event, and to know that, okay, we send 1,000 children to school for 2022 2023. Yes, Colleen. Next, or come back.
I'm here. I am here.
Okay.
Wow, Mumsy. Wow. I mean, I'm just blown away because you educate us every time you open your mouth and you speak about things that I know I didn't know about. How do I get from my face? This little bit. Okay. Things that I know I didn't know about. Like we said that when we send the reusable pads, we also have to send underwear. And I was just like, wait, what? They don't have underwear? No.
Of
Wow.
them. Yeah, it's a luxury.
It's a luxury.
Yeah.
It's a luxury. And it's just so interesting when you say hello from the other side that you decided to use that name as your workshop. I know that we kind of went back and forth because you were all the way in Africa when we were trying to get the details for the workshop. And so, I just threw out the name Hello from the Other Side, and you were like, yeah, I like it. It sounds good. And I didn't know really where we were going with it, but it makes so much sense because here in America, we take so much for granted. Education, school, pads, panties. We take it all for granted. I mean, I have a drawer full of underwear that I don't think twice about. I wouldn't think that is a luxury to have underwear. I would consider it to be a basic human right, to be able to cover your private parts. And on the other side, that's a luxury. But what I noticed about your pictures, what I noticed about, and these are real pictures, these aren't like stock images that, someone created. You went over there and took these with your own phone, but these people look so happy. They do. I mean, we talk about how little they have and how much they're impoverished, but they have smiles on their face.
Yes, and that's why it's good to come to my workshop, because happiness has nothing to do with the material things. Happiness is in your heart. Happiness is a choice. When I get there, we are grateful. First of all, grateful that I could even make it. A lot of people just dance with the fact that, oh my gosh, you could make it, because it's very difficult to make it all the way there. And so we dance in gratitude. When I get there, they already have the tam tam. You will see, if you look in my Instagram, we are always dancing and dancing. So grateful for every little thing that we have. You can hear in America or in Europe, people are not grateful. They're not grateful for what they have, and they have so much. Now, these are people that have very little. Even women, the most suffering one, will always be the one, Colleen, to lift you up. Like when I get there, I am so sad of what I'm seeing. Sometimes I just find out maybe a child just died from a disease that is easily treatable, but because they don't have hospital. And so I will be sad. And the mother of the kids will be like, Momsy, I still have 7. God gave me 8. Let's
Mm,
celebrate the life of the 7 that I still have. That one is in the hand of God. We can't do nothing. Like they're so grateful. I just don't know what kind of heart they have, but they're never sad. They're always
mm.
smiling, always happy. Yeah.
I find that interesting because in the land of the free, right, where we have underwear galore, where we can go down the street and pick and choose what we want to eat, where we have streets that are paved, that we don't have to worry about falling into a ditch just to go to the grocery store. We get water right from our bathrooms and from our sinks. Our refrigerators are filled with food, and yet our suicide rates are high, right?
Yes.
And yet
Yeah.
our families are dysfunctional, and yet our children are dropping out of school, and yet we still have children that are having little babies that are having their own babies, and it's just so interesting that we look from our side and think that the grass would be so much greener if we just had more, right? That consumerist idea or mentality of more and more and more. If I just get more money, then I'll be happy. If I just get this big house, then I'll be happy. If I just make this 6-figure salary or make this amount of money, then I'll be happy. Excuse me. But these people that have so little, what we consider it to be so little, right? We would look at them and be like, oh, if I was like that, I would be depressed, but they are happy. They are happy. They are smiling. And I
Yeah.
think that that's really, that's what I take away from your workshop, even though you haven't done it already yet. But that's what I really take away from this is that, the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you choose to water it,
Exactly.
where you choose to water, where you choose to be grateful instead of looking over and saying, oh, what more can I get? Actually looking at what you have and saying, God bless me with 8 children. God bless me for you to come here today. God bless me to wake up today and live in that happiness instead of focusing on what you don't have. And so while we might be thinking that we're looking at the other side to them and we're in a better space, maybe we have something to learn from our sisters over in Cameroon.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us what your what they should, because after we get done with this webinar, I'm going to open up in the 11th house your bonus activity, and your bonus activity is for the members of the healing space to write a letter to these women, and what are you going to do when they write these letters in the healing space? What are you going to do with it?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the letter myself personally to the women, and each woman will receive each woman will receive each letter. I will take the letter at first, and I will make sure to type the French translation of the letter that I will put in. But many of them that don't even know French or English, I will also explain to them when I'm giving them the letter. Explain in African if they don't understand French. Many kind of understand French. So this letter will go straight, each letter to each woman. And I will make sure that the woman sends something back, like in a letter, or maybe a lot of them are very, they can send you like jewelry, a little piece of jewelry that they make with their hands. They will insist because the tradition is like they never really accept without giving anything back. Because you're so far here, they will probably send you a little bit of jewelry that they made out of the forest, the stuff that you can get in the forest. Yes.
Oh my
So,
gosh, I would love that. I want to
yes.
give a quick shout out to Justice Carter. She called me today and showed me pictures of these letters that she's writing to these women. She made 20 letters so far to go to these women. And Mumsy, I want to ask you real quick, why is it so important that we bring a letter with our donation that's handwritten by ourselves? Why not just give $10? Why is the letters and more important than even just the money?
Oh, the letter is so important. The letter has no value. The letter is like a million. I think, even the letter is everything, even for us, the giver. The letter is what will make you, happy with what you did. Now you cannot just give $10 because any of us can just cash up $10, right? Now you have to sit down and think and put yourself in the place of the person and think, what can I tell her to uplift her? What can I tell her? And I have to tell you, even as the $10 is so important in his education, if you go to the village and you give to any of those women $10, usually they give it back to me because there is no store, no shop, no, they don't know what to do with the money. They will say, can you just bring me like some soap when you come back? It doesn't have so giving $10, we are permitting her to send her child to school. And that's all it is, that you'll be like thankful. But writing to her, now this is personal from you to her. Writing to the other lady and saying, lady, sister, I'm here and I'm thinking of you and I send you this or whatever message you want to send. That will mean even more than the $10 you're giving, truthfully.
Yeah. Because you never know what someone is dealing with. And you never know what your words, how your words can impact them, their day, their mood, their attitude, the way that they look at themselves, the way that they look at life, you know? I think that that's so powerful, and I'm excited to be a part of this. I'm like, I know I planned this whole thing, but sometimes I look back and I'm like, damn, this is really good shit. This is good. Like, this is really good. It's putting so much good out into the world. I'm excited, of course, that we're selling these tickets and we're raising the money to send these children to school. But your house is so impactful because giving a woman a pad, is such an amazing gift. That's something that only you can understand if you are a woman. How impactful that is, how important it is. I couldn't even imagine not being able to put on a pad or a tampon when Aunt Flo comes to town. And with this being a moon ceremony that we are, celebrating and healing ourselves through on our ancestral land, on the land that our ancestors, if you're African American, we came from Africa, but we were sold into slavery. And so there's a level of healing that needs to happen between those American Africans and Africans that are still there. And so I think that bridging that gap and saying us giving back to them, us saying, hey, we're here for you, we love you, is something that's going to break that curse, that generational chain that keeps us divided and keeps us separated. So I'm just so excited to kind of see where this goes, how this, just unravels, because I didn't know that they would send us back things, and that makes me excited because maybe some of the women will connect. and form a connection like a pen pal or something. Can we
Mm.
do that? Is that possible?
Yes, of course. I go there all the time. Yes, of course. And they will send. They will be so happy because I don't know if I said it in the interview on the couch, but right now each woman spend about 3 or 4 days sitting in the corner of her house to bleed in a hole in the ground. When you get your period, you sit on the hole on the ground to bleed in it. So it stopped your life for 4 or 5 days. Just giving them these pads. Can you imagine the changes we make in their lives? Yeah, and the pen pals, of course. I'm telling you, you will see everything they will send. They're very generous. I hope one day we can go to them, all of us.
I would love a trip to Africa.
I
Don't,
hope
girl,
so.
don't tempt me with a good time. Don't tempt me with a
That
good
will
time.
change your life.
I would love, say less. Listen, you guys, if you are trying to make a trip to Africa for the next moon ceremony, put a heart in the chat. Let's get a tally up. Okay, let's make this happen because you already know I do not tempt me with a good time, Mumsy. I will pull up to Cameroon.
Let's go. Let's go. It's going to change your life because you're going to come back so grateful. So grateful. You're going to come back. You're going to notice everything God has blessed you with. Now you're going to live a life of gratitude.
Yes, we're getting hearts. We're getting hearts in the chat now. Everybody's throwing up.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jessica said, "Don't tempt me either." Look, we're all down, okay? We will pull up with bells and whistles on because I think that, and I'm speaking for myself here, but I feel like I'm speaking for a majority of African Americans. We know that Africa is the motherland, and we have this deep urge to want to go back just to see it, just to see where we come from because I feel like as African Americans, we don't really have any home. We're not even though we're Americans, we don't feel like we're at home here. We're hunted here, We
Mm.
are we are just it's just another day of living in oppression or dealing with having to you don't really feel like you're accepted here in America because of the climate and the social climate. But we also don't feel like we could ever go back to Africa. That seems like such a huge and monumental move to even wrap your mind around. So I think it's so important for us to start conversations with our sisters, with our brothers that are in Africa. Like, what country was it that said that they would accept Americans back? Was it Ghana?
Yeah,
Or
all the countries, even there was a group of Americans. I will see if I can find that video that came back from to Cameroon. They gave them right away the nationality and everything because someone is staying in the between us. Someone is staying between the African that left and the African that stayed. And if we get together, it's going to be so powerful. A lot of continents are still living of Africa. Africa isn't poor, but they kept us illiterate. That's the first thing. People are illiterate, no education. That's why I was saying that a group of women here coming to Cameroon, the power you will represent just for getting there, getting in these villages, stopping this nonsense laws against girls and against women. All that will stop. We can make miracles if we go. Miracles. And you're always going to be welcome. I mean, you feel home. There is no racism.
yeah,
None.
yeah,
None.
yeah,
Absolutely zero.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love what you said about how Africa isn't poor. The world lives off of Africa, and it's very true. When I was getting my graduate degree, getting my MSW, I did an internship at the Carter Center, and my job, my role there was to research the relationship between China and Africa. And in my studies, what I realized is that like 90% of the world's resources come from Africa. We are the water bearer of the world. We pour into the world. Africa is the mother of the world. And
Yeah.
so it's just so interesting to me that while we're Africa, that continent is fueling the world, yet it's considered or perceived to be poor. And it's not poor, actually. It actually yields all of the resources. And I'm gonna take it even deeper. how, you know, in America, if you are Black or if you are a person of color, you get pinged into this minority bucket as if you are the minority. And if you're not, you know, if you are of Ethiopian descent, right, or you're white, then you are the majority. But when you look at it on a global standpoint, take yourself out of America and just look at the world, melanated people make up the majority in all of the countries. Like the darker the skin tone, the more you go more into impoverished, and there's more impoverished people than there are richer people. And so it's just so interesting for me to look at, because I think like if we take off all of the barriers of like you're African or you're American or you're Haitian or you're, you know, Jamaican or, you know, whatever, and we just say, hey, if you're melanin, you're a sister, we unite, would we be the minority?
We could never be the minority. You know, as I watched the movie Wakanda, it says it all. I'm telling you, Europe, look at France, just Google it right now. Countries, whole countries, they live in the back of Africa. And what they do is they keep us stupid so that they come, because even when you come to Africa, it's other countries that are running all the resources, right? They hate China because China comes in to try to get its share too. But everybody's coming to take. And the best thing is to keep the population kind of, you know, like this rural population. No schools. Can you imagine in 2020, villages with hundreds of kids with no school? What is that? You know, and it's not because we are poor, but because we signed. This is a whole other conversation. But when we got our independence, they made us sign treaties where a lot of our resources do not belong to us, it belongs to European. So basically slavery that has continued until today. We need people like you know, groups of women that are educated, even from America, coming back and saying what's going on here. Is the United Nations know that this is happening? You know, we need to open the eyes and do that. So I think that literally, if we unite, even African American, because they are so powerful and so they are powerful. They have a big voice. If they could just partner and come back to Africa, we are not poor. None of us, not you, not me. None of us is poor.
Maybe
But
if we just all said hello, you know.
this is a revolution that you might have started, Kalin.
Say it again. Say it again. What'd you say?
A revolution that you have
Hey,
started.
I am here for it. That, yes.
Yes,
Just because now
yes.
our sisters have powerful voices,
Yeah.
our voice matters. Yes. I'm all the way down for going back to Africa and teaching my people all of the knowledge that I have gained over the years, because why not? Why not? Why will I continue to pour into a land, into a world that continues to kill my brothers and sisters? 2020, they are still killing us. So why are we pouring back into this land that we were stolen into? I'm all the way here for you, Mumsy. I support you, Mumsy. I love you, Mumsy. You are my sister, Mumsy. You are me. I am you. We are each other. And until we start to realize that, they're going to keep us enslaved. They're going to keep our minds enslaved, that we continue to think that we're different. We're not different, because when they look at us, they don't see anything different.
They don't.
So why do we?
Exactly. It's what they taught us. You know, they say divide to better conquer, right? They divide us that way they can continue. But really, sisters, you're needed in Africa, really. Because I think even something like your group of amazing ladies here, you can do so much in Africa. I work in Kenya. United States is sending millions, but these millions go in European company and also the white people. They're all in it, taking it here like aid to Africa. It never gets to the African children. It
Right.
also gets shared among them, and it's all of them. Where Black people, where are Africans in all that? We are on the board where you come here, we are oppressed. You go there, we are oppressed. Nobody is free, and they are having their fun. Until we realize that and wake up, they're having fun.
Well, it's okay because 2022, we are all shifting into divine alignment and we can't stay here. There's a shift that's happening, a powerful shift that's happening to the collective that's pulling us out of our deep slumber of being asleep and allowing so much of us to wake up and realize that it's time for us to take back our power. We can't look to other people and say, give us freedom, give us rights, give us shit. They're not going to give us anything. It's time for us to take it. So I am so excited. Webinar, if this webinar out of all 12 of them resonated deep in your soul, then sis, you need to pull up on April 24th because it's not just a retreat. It's not just a moon ceremony. It's not just, it's about us going back to the land that we came into this America as and were labeled as slaves and put into oppression. It's about us going back there and saying our ancestors' names and exonerating them and freeing them. There is power in our tongues, and there's power in our hands, and there's power when we embrace each other.
Yes.
So this will be the best investment that you have ever given to yourself because it's not just for you. When you come to this moon ceremony, when you join the healing space, know that you are sending a little boy to school or a little girl. I'm going to say a little girl because I'm hoping that all 1,000 of these kids are girls from what you just told me. I mean, our little boys need help too, but come on, like they don't send the girls. Just said, pull up. Yes, no time for asking. It's time to take what belongs to us back. Absolutely. Yes. Jessica said, I'm ready. #pull up Africa.
Yes.
Kaylin wants to know, can I be assigned to help a woman? Girl, yes, you already are assigned to help a woman. If you're
Come
in
through my shop.
Yes, if you are here right now, you are supporting a woman. But if you would love to do more work, tomorrow morning when this workshop is over, go into the 11th house of Aquarius, read what it's about, and then do the activity that Mummies is gonna post. Write a letter. Write that letter and send $10, sis. $10. Okay. $10. What is that? That's a cup of Starbucks, right? $10 can't even get you a full tank of gas these days, So but it makes such a difference. It's gonna make a whole year worth of difference to a child. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Mumsy, for this.
Thank you.
I am just in awe of everything. You guys, if you're also looking to make a donation, if you feel called to do so, you could click on this link right here. I'm going to put it in the chat. And it will lead you straight to the website. And you can click on donate and you can donate whatever amount is on there that you feel called to. You can also put in your own amount that you wanted to donate. Mumsy said $1 is $500 in Africa. $1. $1, sis. I know you got to get your hair done. You got to get your nails done. We all got bills, but I promise you $1 is not going to hurt. And if it's anything, your money is going to go from your pocket to those women's pocket. You're not donating to any of these big corporations. It's me and it's Mumsy. And we're doing the work and we're bringing this money back over to them. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I truly do believe the tagline of the healing space says, the healing space, heal, then spread the healing. Because I truly believe that when you heal yourself, you heal generations to come. And so I want to represent that in this moon ceremony, because when you come to the healing space, when you come to the 2222 moon ceremony, you're going to heal yourself. I'm going to be sure of it. I'm going to make sure of it. But you're not just going to heal yourself. You're going to heal generations, literally, with your presence. So, do you have any final words, Mumsy?
Oh, I can't wait to be at the healing ceremony. I can't wait to visit all the other houses. I can't wait to participate. I can't wait to have you coming to my house uh, and participate. I just can't wait for all of us to be healed. I love what you're doing, Colleen. I think you're amazing. I mean, to pull this, how far you've come even until now. You are a sister. And I have so much admiration for you, for what you're doing. I can't wait to meet everybody in person. Can't wait.
Wow, that means a lot coming from you, Mumsy. Well, you guys have an amazing night. And tonight, I want you, when you take your shower and you're getting into bed and you pull up your panties, think about the woman in Cameroon, that it's a luxury for her to do that. And speak gratitude over your underwear, sis, because it's like that. And say hello tomorrow from the other side. Bye, you guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye.